you lovely lot. Oh, Merry Christmas. Jesus Christ, where has this year gone? I mean, I know I've done a lot this year, but everybody I've spoke to said it's just flying. It's absolutely crazy how quick these years are going. And yeah, and sorry I'm late with these videos, but I've been running around like a headless chicken. I'm absolutely shattered. I've been sea mossing and creaming everybody up. This sea moss is absolutely amazing stuff. I didn't even know much about it until last year when we went to Zanzibar. Never really I'd heard about seaweed, eating it in the Chinese, but never really knew the benefits about it. And since we went to Zanzibar last year, we've been using it and saw how it was farmed and stuff. And we've had so much amazing results from it. We've started doing our own farming out there because we was like, yeah, let's just do it ourselves. And we're going out there on the 17th of January to do some promotional videos for it and take some pictures and stuff for our website, which I'm really excited about as well. But also, we're going to go and stay for the first time in my new place, in our new place. I've not even been there yet. Matthew's been there a couple of times, but I've not. I've seen it on videos. But I say staying there, I say it quite loosely because it's probably more like camping. But do you know what? I don't care because it's more than I could have even dreamed of without having loads of large amounts of money. Yeah, so I'm just so excited. And if I'm brave enough, I'm going to try and do some lives and videos for you as well. But this video is one of my favourites because this is the one that I'm going to talk to you about soul feeding. And that's what I call it, is soul feeding. And since I've been doing this work, it's just changed my life around completely. I've just opened up my eyes to see things differently, to see things in like a clearer way. Not just on like one side of where you've been taught to believe and think. It's like opening your eyes because everything we're doing on paper or on if I told everybody what we was doing, they would have gone, you're mad, don't be so silly, what are you doing, it's crazy. And who knows, we might still be crazy because this is as live as it gets, where I'm doing this as we're doing this. So who knows what's going to happen in 6 months, a year's time. I haven't got a clue. But that's what I'm sharing with you. But I've got so much confidence and I just feel so happy anyway, even if anything didn't come of it. And we went back on our little boat and went down the canal and lived happily ever after that way. It wouldn't bother me because I'm just feel so contented and so happy. And and it's through the soul feeding and trusting your gut feeling and learning to open up them sparks in your brain that have been like shut down for so long because of what we've been conformed to do. So you're soul feeding. So what is it? What's it about? How does it work? Well, I believe that if you put so much goodness back into your brains and get rid of all this crap, then we start feeling better. So the way to do this is start feeding your mind and your consciousness and your brains with goodness again. So it overtakes all that crap and gets rid of it and says, do one, like I'm all right now, I feel confident and I'm happy and going with what your gut feelings are, because I'll give you a little instance that that you don't go with your gut feelings. And when Taylor was born. He was born on Christmas, actually, 19th of December. And he was born so healthy and everything. He came home, and then a couple of days before New Year's Eve, he started getting poorly. Quite poorly, actually. But the midwife kept coming round and saying, don't be worried, he's fine. You're over just exaggerating. You're a new mum. He's fine. As long as he's feeding, he's okay. And the little sod would just feed a little bit, but not loads, but then a little bit again. So it sort of confused me. Anyway, the day before New Year's Eve, she come round again and I said, he really doesn't seem right. And I don't know, am I just being an over-exaggerating mum? And she was like, I think you are, Paula. Like, I've done his bloods, he's fine. So you should just keep an eye out on him. And if he does stop feeding for a few hours and he goes like 2 feeds without like taking foods, then phone the doctor. So I was like, oh, okay. So that night I stayed up with him all night, but I just kept looking, thinking, no, it doesn't look right. Anyway, cutting a long story short, me and his dad stayed up with him, and his dad had to go to bed because one of us had to. And I got his dad out. I said, I'm really going to take him to the doctors. He doesn't seem right. And his dad went, Paula, is not, come on, let's just go straight to the doctors. So we walked in the doctors. As soon as we walked in there, Taylor stopped breathing. The doctors come running out and said, we haven't got time for an ambulance. Your baby is dying. It makes me feel a bit sick now. Your baby's dying. We haven't got time for an ambulance. You've got to get in the car and drive as fast as you can to the ambulance, to the hospital. So his dad didn't drive really. He'd only just sort of passed his test. So I done the driving, as you could imagine, as a mum. So yeah, I ended up we got to the hospital. Taylor, they were waiting for us. Taylor got whipped off for us, and they were like, what have you done? This baby is like dying. And they took him off, and we didn't know what the hell was going on. Anyway, we was under investigation as well, because the social services obviously were doing their job. This baby had come out so healthy, and now they were like, he'd come back and the baby was dying. So they didn't know what sort of life he lived or who he was living with. So we didn't know we was getting watched, but we found a little book and we opened it up, and they was taking notes of everything that we'd done and how we spoke to Taylor. Very clever, very, very clever. They know what they're doing. Well, I say sometimes they do. Yeah, so we was looked at. But anyway, cutting a long story short, he come out of it 2 weeks later. He was in intensive care for 2 weeks and he come out of it. But if I'd have gone with my gut feeling, thank God nothing happened to Taylor, because if I'd have gone with my gut feeling at the beginning and not listened to what I'd have thought was a midwife that knew what they were talking about, then I might not have had to go through that awful experience. So yeah, that sort of gut feeling you trust, and if any of you've been lied to by somebody you love or been cheated on maybe, and then it all comes out in the wash and you go, do you know what, I knew it. And when you was questioning it and that, everyone was like, don't be so silly, and your partner was like, don't be so silly, how I could do that, or have I got time to do that? And so you start questioning yourself and you think you're going crazy, because in that gut feeling you're thinking, oh God, I know. No, God, I think I'm going a bit mad. You know that gut feeling, and then yeah, when it all comes out, you're like, I fucking knew it. I just knew it. Yeah, and them times that you go, God, I wish I'd have gone there, or I knew I should have gone there, or do you know what, I went there. Or if you met your love of your life, and you went somewhere and you was like, do you know what, I wasn't even going to come here, but something took me. You know, that feeling. Oh, that's the feeling we've got to spark again. We've got to get back in the game really with it, and learn to trust it and love it and feed it goodness. So, how do you do this? Now, you might think this is really crazy, but do you know what? It costs nothing except your time and your commitment, and that's all it takes. And do you know what that is? Go onto YouTube, go onto social media, and go onto podcasts, and start listening to motivational speakers, to inspirational talking, people that have gone through life and come out the other side, or educate yourself. Just do other ways of thinking, just to open in your brain. Follow people on Facebook that are just inspirational, that have gone through stuff. I'm going to give you some names at the end that I started listening to in different parts of my healing, because different stages I went through, I wanted to listen to different bits. I just went with what I wanted to listen to at the time. But yeah, and it costs nothing. But what it will do, it might sound crazy, and yes, it's not gonna. All right, Paula, what's sitting there and bloody listening to motivational speakers and talking, listening to podcasts, going to sort my bills out and pay for my bills that have all adding up? Of course it's not. But what it might do is it might open up a little thing in your brain, or give you that bit of confidence to maybe phone them people up that you owe money to, and work out a financial way of paying it back little by little that you're both happy with. And you can put the phone down and go, you know what, I've been worrying about that for so long, and it was as easy as that. I pay £5 a month, £10 a month, but it's done. That problem's ticked, it's gone. So I'm not saying it's going to get rid of all your problems. Of course it doesn't, but it opens up and gives you sort of ways and different ideas to maybe be able to cope and find solutions. So yeah, and the more that you do this, and the more that you listen to the goodness and good stuff that's in brain, put in your brain, the more you're feeding yourself goodness, and the more you're healing. So if you're going to sit and watch, spend 2 or 3 hours, scrolling through the internet, listen at things, or looking at things that are just not going to help you, why don't you, if you still enjoy that, that's fine, but why don't you half that? And maybe half of it, use it to to learn to feed your soul a little bit, and then still use half of that time of doing what you want to do. I don't know, watching who you want to watch or stuff, or influencers and stuff. But but the more that you put goodness inside you, the quicker and the better you're going to heal yourself. So it's up to you. I was addicted to it, so I stopped watching the telly. I just thought, God, if I'm going to sit in front of something for 2 hours, I want to sit in something that's going to make me feel better and be good for me. So yeah, just start with that, and yeah, it might take you down different paths, because once you start opening up and listening to these things, your internet and your phones and everything knows what you're looking for, and they'll start bring all this stuff up to you. And because not everybody likes listening to the same things, but it'll opening up to other things that you might be interested in. So here's some of the people that I used to listen to on different stages. I had to write them down so I didn't forget. So Mel Robbins and Dr. Bruce Lipton. They're more scientific. They were doctors. So if you're more into the scientific side of things as well, of how things are, they're really good to listen to. Les Brown, Tony Robinson's, they're amazing motivational speakers. I used to listen to them in the gym, even though I don't go to the gym anymore. But and in the morning I used to get up and like to listen to them. Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer. Oh, they're just lovely, philosophical kind of just lovely, nice people just to listen to, really easy listening to. And then Abraham Hicks and Doreen Cannon, they're quite spiritual and afterlife kind of things. But affirmations in the morning, positivity, just get as much as that as you can in your brain to start with and see where it takes you. And there's 2 male people on Facebook that I love and I follow, any male friends that are watching this, but I know people have actually gone to see them and work with them, and they're amazing. And that is Mark Singer and Paul Fitzpatrick. They're both completely different, the way they're approached to their work, but they're both amazing. And like I say, because everyone's unique and needs different people to that relate to, because we all got different things that we relate to and all need different things at different times. So if you do find one and you think this is a load of, oh crap, I can't stand her voice, I don't want to listen to that, just keep digging, because you will find one. Yeah, and just try that over Christmas and see how you get on. And if you're having a hard time this Christmas, just I've been there too, and but just make it the last Christmas that you are going to have it a hard time. Dig deep and do a bit of soul feeding, and make sure it's your last one, and do something special for you. And if you're lucky enough to have the best family, the best Christmas, the best of everything, then oh my God, you're so happy and so lucky. And yeah, and have the best time, and Merry Christmas everybody, and sending you all lots of love. And next time the videos will be in Zanzibar, so sending you all so much love at Christmas and Happy New Year, and get soul feeding. It is amazing. Love you all. Mwah.